Welcome back. Activists are calling for an end to rhino poaching. An anti-poaching group will be embarking on an at least 3,000-kilometre journey on the 22nd of September. This initiative aims to raise awareness about rhino conservation and to raise funds for anti-poaching projects. Sharon Jessop from Run Wild for Rhinos joins us to discuss how you can get involved. A very good morning to you, Sharon, and thank you so much for your time. I mean, kudos to you guys for actually doing this, because I don't think there can ever be enough awareness raised about rhino poaching. But I suppose the question then should be, is it just a matter of people not caring? A lot of people do know that it's wrong to just kill rhinos for their horns or for any other reason, but is it a matter of that some don't know, or they just don't care?
Good morning, first of all. I think it's not a case of people not caring. We have a phrase that we use in rhino poaching circles or rhino conservation circles where we say people have become, or they suffer from rhino poaching fatigue. So, the problem is such a big one that I think people are just... They've just become basically selectively blind and deaf to the whole issue. So we aim to refocus, but in a fun way. Hence the 3,000-kilometre plus journey on foot for rhino conservation awareness, and also to raise funds, much needed funds for these organizations to continue doing what they're doing. So yeah, we're just trying to put a different spin on an old problem, but in a fun way, so that people can feel that, we're actually reaching something, we're actually getting somewhere. Because the truth of the matter is that it can become a very overwhelming problem if you look at how quick these animals are being poached and how slow they're actually reproducing.
There's also, Wayne Bolton, who's another anti-rhino poaching activist, who himself he's cycling. So you guys are going on foot, and he's been going on bike. And of course, this is all in the lead up to the 22nd of September, which is World Rhino Day. Why this spin, as you call it?
We use endurance sport as a driver for conservation. So Wayne and I are actually dovetailing on this whole expedition. So he's cycling from Swakopmund in Namibia. In fact, 2 days ago, he entered South Africa, and he will be cycling to Gqeberha, and I will be running from Gqeberha through the Eastern Cape, through KZN, and then ultimately finish at the Lebombo border post just outside Kruger. So the whole symbolism of this is the joint custody. It's not just my problem. It's not just the government's problem. It's not just private rhino owners' problem. It is a collective problem. And we believe if we can activate and mobilize the masses to get behind us, then we can really, really make a marked difference to rhino conservation in South Africa, and even further afield, deeper into Africa. So that is really our belief, and that is what we're sticking to, and that is why we're literally putting our legs on the line for this cause.
Sharon, is there enough being done to combat rhino poaching? Yes, there are those that actually execute the poaching, that actually do kill and harm the rhinos, but then, this is a business. For some people, it's they don't really care what is happening to these rhinos. I'm sure they would understand if there was any other way I could get what it is I want from a rhino, I would, instead of having them killed. But, I have to do what I have to do as somebody who's in the business of this thing. Do you feel enough is being done to challenge those people, to fight those people, essentially the people at the very top who give off these instructions to the actual poachers?
A lot of good work is being done, but obviously we always feel more can be done. We do need a lot more government will worldwide around the rhino poaching crisis, and we don't always see that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously there is a number of issues that needs to be addressed. More significantly, the issue of unemployment in South Africa. Specifically because, unfortunately, these kingpin poachers, these main guys, do prey on impoverished communities. So unless we can find a way to make a significant impact on unemployment, and we believe that tourism is one of those things that can do that. So if we can grow tourism in South Africa and more people can be employed, less rhinos will be poached, less pangolin will be poached, because at the end of the day, if we save the rhinos, we save the people. Because tourism creates many jobs. We know that. But if we can get tourism to work properly and grow it significantly, we can really, really create thousands of jobs for people, and also your peripheral industry that supports the tourism industry. So it's really something that can be looked at and can be developed. And then, of course, your reducing campaign, your campaigns to reduce the use of rhino horn. And that's going to take time. That's not something that's going to happen overnight, because these beliefs are so instilled in these people about the issues around rhino horn and the health benefits and the sexual benefits of rhino horn. We know it's a myth, because the rhino horn is just keratin. It's the same things our fingernails and our hair is made of. There's no magical properties to a rhino horn unless it is attached to a live rhino in the wild. So there's so many things that need to happen collectively. And I know that specifically here in the Eastern Cape, your rhino conservation circles have made significant inroads into that. But so much more needs to be done. And we definitely need a lot more assistance and help from the world's governments. This is an issue that I believe needs as much attention as the coronavirus issue had. We need to laser focus on this issue like we did with the COVID-19 pandemic. That is the only way that we're actually going to make a significant difference. Because if we don't make a difference now, we've got about another 5 to 7 years before these animals disappear off the earth. That is the amount, or that is the significance of the crisis that we're looking at right now.
And that is actually quite scary, because I would have also wanted to ask you just how bad the situation really is at rhino poaching, but you've actually just gone and answered that question for me. We're going to leave it there with you, Sharon. Thank you so much for joining us here on ENCA on South African Morning. That, of course, is Sharon Jessop, who is an anti-rhino poaching activist.